The pond intruder. I was 21, home from college, and often stayed at my parents' house alone. Our home was in an upscale neighborhood, sitting right on the edge of a pond. One humid summer night, I was watching TV in our sunroom. Suddenly, I heard a heavy splash from outside. At first, I brushed it off, thinking it was just a duck or a goose. But then, the splashing grew more rhythmic. Like someone, or something, was wading through the water while humming a low, tuneless melody. I stepped onto the deck and peered into the pitch blackness. The moment I flicked on the backyard lights, the noise stopped. I retreated inside, heart pounding, and sat on the couch, trying to convince myself it was nothing. The room was silent. Then, right beside my ear, from just outside the window, a deep, raspy voice whispered, "I see you." I was frozen in fear. Hours later, when I finally mustered the courage to check, there were wet, barefoot footprints leading from the pond, stopping right at my window. I have a ritual of walking my dog late at night. Near our complex, there's a deserted parking lot. One night, while I was walking with one earbud in, something made me stop. I took the earbud out. From the darkness ahead, I heard a voice, "Help." It sounded like a child, but there was something fundamentally wrong with it, like a human voice layered over a synthetic tone. I scanned the area with my flashlight, but the lot was empty. Then, the same word repeated, "Help," with the exact same inflection, no fear, no urgency. It wasn't a cry for help, it was a lure. My dog, usually docile, stood paralyzed, staring at the empty spaces between the parked SUVs, growling at nothing. I didn't wait to find out what was waiting for me, we turned and ran. As a kid, my bedroom was at the back of the house, facing a dense, dark forest. I was terrified of the dark. Strange things started happening. My nightlight, which I always set to red, would be turned to a different color by morning. My parents blamed it on a glitch. Then, one day, I found the light unplugged and lying on the floor. Soon after, I started hearing scratching noises inside my closet every single night. I begged my parents to believe me, but they just told me to grow up. Finally, my dad got fed up and ripped the posters off the back wall to prove I was just imagining things. His face turned white. There was a massive, jagged hole in the wall. My mom started screaming. My dad ran outside and discovered a tunnel dug directly from the forest into my bedroom. Someone had been living in that crawl space, watching me through the wall for weeks. I moved into a small house after landing my first big girl job. Everything was fine until the knocking started. It was always late at night. I'd yell, "Who's there?" but get no response. The next morning, I found a sticky note on the door, "Hello beautiful." I threw it away, hoping it was a one-time thing. But then came another, "I like to watch you." I was terrified. I left a note of my own on the door, "Whoever you are, I know you're there. I'm calling the police." The next day, I found a reply written underneath my own note, "Calling the police won't help. I'm watching you read this right now." My dad, A retired cop, came to stay, but the stalker never showed their face. I moved out shortly after, but I spent months looking over my shoulder, feeling eyes on me even when I was locked inside.